Hey everyone, I'm Multiple456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 40 of Let's Platinum Danganronpa 1, 2, Reload. Okay, so for this next part, I'm not exactly sure what the trigger is, but I know that doing what I'm going to do makes it work, so that's all I'm going to do. First, we go to the art room, and let's talk to Sakura and Hina.
Damn.
We need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that?
Huh?
Where could two dead bodies have disappeared to? Rattle, rattle. Huh? The door must be locked. That's weird. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go to the rec room now. Left. And in here. Are they in here? Okay. Nope, don't see anything. The Justice Hammer is still there. Don't worry about it though. And finally, we go back to the physics room. Whee! Look how fast we go. I love how this game has movement bob. I think I mentioned before. So it's like as you move, it makes it seem like, you know, you're actually running because that small bob. If you haven't noticed it, but when you're walking in real life, that happens as well. You sort of bob up and down slowly. Alright, go back into here and... I don't think I have to actually, I don't think I had to actually go in there, sorry. I think I just had to go into the physics room and then leave. So now, here we go. Makoto,
Come on.
why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean?
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's bodies had both been hidden in the repository.
Bye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura. We'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Yeah, you know how we just went there and it was locked? Alright, so let's head in here. And we're gonna see them. Are the bodies here somewhere? I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. Me too. Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. Then I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw. So for a third time, I believe. Get a cool shot of Byakuya there as well. The two bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
And so here we are.
The Monokuma file!
Without further ado, let me give you all. I was gonna hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but... Just hand it over already.
Stop talking.
Now, make sure to investigate with all of your mental might and prepare for the class trial. Okay.
See
ya
ya later!
Well then, now that we've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit. Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know? Dead, gone forever, they're never coming back.
That's
Awful,
terrible.
this is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why?
Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this was some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. Whoa. This wasn't...
He's alive again? Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Is that a Game of Thrones reference? This is 2010. Seems a bit early, but I can't remember when Game of Thrones started.
Huh? Ah, that's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you
His
all.
memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
Ah, the light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
Just gonna stop for a second because my recording seems to be going a little bit slow. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Things seem to be a bit better now, so let's try. His eyes closed. And they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable. Death. Sorry about that sound. I was trying to put down a earbud. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones, at least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends?
fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time, it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. And it is investigation time. First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So, in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So, in other words,
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened? So just one person.
Well now,
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true then, Kyoko, where are you?
however,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation. I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible, but for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information. You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone as a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. What? Why? I'm offended. Wario. Kya? When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl. Milk sack?
Gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know? She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not going to kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
so then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation
it's
anyway.
all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma file number 3 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Alright, so finally it's time to actually properly investigate. So let's get started. Let's examine the hammers here. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets. Could the Justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all of the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky salt powder. Stone powder? I skipped that too far, sorry. Wait. Stone powder. Wait. For some reason this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, what about this dolly here? It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh? But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at that wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Repository dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Alright, what else is in here that we can examine? I think we just have to examine the bodies now. Yeah. Taka. He'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Hifumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here in the repository. all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later for now. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head, probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait, let me just check something. Yes. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses! When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that, and why? Hifumi's glasses has been added to the truthful section of your handbook. Alright, what about Byakuya? Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name,
in other words,
then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere. And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people? What? Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out. Hold on. Perhaps... I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay?
that's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with that attitude? Well, what's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out, but if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Alright, let's talk to Sakura and Hina. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Would you like my help? This is gonna take a little while, but yeah, alright, let's do it. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search, and soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor, where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Ah! I think that's Hifumi. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However,
But at that same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time, because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was, in fact, gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? This time, Taka's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies, and after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Alright, we're pretty much out of time, but I'm going to quickly talk to Hina. Hopefully she doesn't speak for too long. Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. And we came right to the repository to, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Alright, so we're going to leave things like that. Next time we have to do some more investigating by actually attempting to leave and search other areas of the school. So for now, I want to thank you all for watching episode 40 of Let's Platinum Danganronpa 1-2 Reload. My name is Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.